Hi guys, welcome to day 11, and today we're going to be talking about hunger and purpose. Hunger as a fundamental human essence, right? So I'm sure you've encountered people who are just very ambitious, just very desirous, people who keep doing new things, exploring and just making things happen, right? And maybe you may say that they're just so very passionate, or they're just so very obsessed with whatever they are doing. They just have this drive, that is not normal, all right? Or they just have this drive that keeps pushing them to do more, to grow more, or to be better, right? And so they're just very ambitious. You see, today I just want to drive home one point, right? And the point I'm trying to make today is that this hunger, this passion, this character that these people you see possess, or that you even possess, right? It's not something that is reserved to some people. It's not something that some people have and others don't. It's something that is an innate human nature, right? Everybody's built with this hunger, everybody's built with this passion, all right? And so the difference is that over time, some people's own have been quenched, or do not have the right environment to groom theirs, right? Or some people never even get the chance to have a feel of it, because as a child it's natural, right? That hunger, that strive, that drive is there to just do things, right? So along the way, something happens, and so we're going to be talking about that something, and we're going to be also talking about what to do about that something. Right, so what is hunger in the first place? So hunger is the response to human potential. It is that feeling, right, or that knowing, or that understanding that there is more to me, right, that I'm currently expressing. There's more to me that I currently am. And so it is this dissatisfaction, it is this restlessness with your current state, or your current ability, or your current achievement, right? It just keeps making you want to do more, want to build more, want to grow more, want to earn more, right? And things like this. So this is fundamentally what hunger is, and every human being has this imbued in them. Every human being is born hungry for growth, hungry for expression. It is this hunger that helps a child to grow, right? Because think about it, nobody really tells a child, oh, you need to learn how to walk, right? So through observation and through consistent trials, right, they keep engaging. Today they are crawling, all right, they get up, they crawl, they try to get up, they fall, they try again, they keep trying, all right? So that element that makes them keep going is what is called hunger, right? So they observe around, they look around, and they see people walking on just 2 feet, right? And so they also want to try that, right? So that is curiosity, that is hunger, right? So it's a childlike nature, right? And so at some point it kind of disappears, but what really happens is that it is just suppressed, right? And we're just going to be looking at a few things that suppresses this hunger. So number one is comfort. Everybody likes comfort, everybody loves or likes pleasure, all right? So well, you see, comfort is one of those things that kills hunger. Why? Because when you're comfortable, all right, it almost looks like there is no need for you to strive. There is no need for you to, look for more. Like you're just okay. You're okay the way you are. You have what you need. Why press for more? And so this does not mean that we have to be uncomfortable in order to have this hunger. It just means that whether you're in a state of comfort or in a state of discomfort, right, one thing should be present is that you're continually striving for more. You're continually seeking for more, right? Something is driving you to have more. So it's easier when you are in a uncomfortable condition or situation, right? Because you have to get out of there. So you don't really need any external motivation, right? You notice that hunger inside of you, it awakens automatically. You don't need any motivation, to do what you have to do, all right? But then when you're comfortable, right, sometimes you need to be reminded that because you're comfortable does not mean that this is all that there is. But another thing is fear, right? Fear restricts hunger a lot, right? Because it restrains you from acting, right? It helps you to be so careful, right? It makes you not to take risk, and so you want to do something, but because of fear of judgment, fear of embarrassment, fear of failure, right, you rather just stay where you are, right? And that's you suppressing your hunger. because hunger seeks to be fed, right? It seeks to be expressed. And so when you're not feeding it through these actions that it desires, right, it begins to, become silent. It begins to be suppressed. Right. So fear is one of the things that kills hunger. Right. You desire to do something, but you're afraid of many things, and that continually kills your hunger, and you just begin to feel just very numb because of your inability to do what you want to do. Right. So it's just like you want to do something, but you find yourself not doing it because of some limitation. So over time you get frustrated. Frustration rather can lead to depression. It can lead to you starting to feel numb. Right, because when you begin to feed that hunger, you begin to feel alive again. Right, but when you begin to feel suppress the hunger, right, it's almost as if you're unalive. So hunger needs direction. Yeah, it needs direction. There should be something you're hungry for. So the reason why that desire is usually suppressed is because we do not channel it into somewhere. So it's just there, and when it's not channeled, it can't be active. Right. So it needs direction. Where are you channeling that hunger into? Is it in the course you're studying, or in the skill you're learning, or whatever it is that you're doing at the moment? Right. So it needs direction. It needs direction. When you're hungry, maybe you're craving for a particular meal. Right. So it has direction, and when you get that meal, you'll be satisfied, or you have some sense of satisfaction. So it's the same thing here. Right. That desire in you needs to be channeled. Now, another important suppressor of hunger is comparison. See, hunger is something internal, right? So if you keep relying on external circumstances, external pressures, to compel you, right, then at some point you're going to be burnt out, right? You're even going to be limiting your own self, right? And a lot of things are going to go wrong, all right? But when you understand that this thing is internal, right, you're doing what you're doing because there's an internal drive in you, that is causing you to do that thing and do it the way you're doing, not because you're competing with someone else, or because you want to do it because someone else is doing it. No, because there's something that is driving you. There's something that is making you restless towards that particular goal or activity. So when hunger, meets comparison, what happens is you begin to feel envy. Right, you begin to look down on yourself. You even begin to apply unnecessary pressure to yourself, right? So that's not what hunger looks like. So one that is very important is disappointment. You see, disappointment, especially regular disappointment, right, make people to shy away, from actually engaging. Right, so if you had repeated failures, you just be like, oh, there's no need to try that. I've been trying since ever, right, and nothing has worked. Right, why do I need to press more? Right, do I need to do more? I mean, there's no reason. Right, so disappointment, right, kills hunger a lot. So maybe if you can remember something that you really wanted to do, but because you kept having a lot of setbacks, a lot of limitations, it now looks as if that passion is not there again, that hunger is not there again. Meanwhile, it's not that it's not there, but you've allowed this disappointment and setbacks to actually suppress it. So ambitious people they're not gifted. Ambition is not a gift. It's something that everyone has, right? It's just that many people have interacted with it in different proportions, right? So don't think it's something that some people have and then some people do not have. Now it's something that is given to all, right? So it depends on how you interact with it, right? How do you respond in an uncomfortable situation? How do you respond to disappointment? Do you just give up, right? How do you respond to that feeling of restlessness? Do you just go numb, right? So how you respond actually matters a lot, because it either suppresses the hunger or awakens it. Okay, so people who seem very ambitious are people who have given in to their hunger and allowed it, to lead, or allowed it to direct them. Hunger is not something you create, right? It's something that you allow to live. Okay, your hunger determines your energy, it determines your resilience, it determines your persistence, right? So if you're not madly involved in something or madly chasing after something, right, it's going to show in the amount of energy you give to it, much resilience you can give to it, how much work you can give to it, right? It's going to show. Then I want us to go with the understanding that this thing called ambition, this thing called hunger, whatever you want to call it, is not a gift to some certain. Everybody is expected to work in it, right? And so it's not something that is reserved for some and not others. No, it's given to all. So it depends on how you engage it. So today, just reflect, think about it, and then engage the action step at the ending to also help you. All right, we'll continue from here tomorrow.